Hi everyone, this is my first video and I'm going to show you how to make this cool purple mushroom hat. You can do whatever colors. So first we're going to start with a magic circle by wrapping the yarn and making an X. Then we'll grab our hook and grab our yarn and pull it under. Once we have our circle, we'll chain 2. And then we can do 12 double crochets into the circle. Gently pull on the end of the yarn to make the circle a little tighter. Now that we're at the end, we'll just pull the end of the yarn all the way to tighten the circle tight. Pull it tight, and then we'll just slip stitch into that first double crochet. Then we'll chain 2 and start our next row. In this row we'll be increasing, so we'll be adding 2 double crochets into each stitch. I'm just counting to see that there's 12. And that's 2 into the 1. Then we'll do 1 and 1 more in that same stitch. The last 2 double crochets. And we will slip stitch into that first double crochet stitch and chain 2 to start the row, the next row. For the next row we'll increase again by doing 1 double crochet in the first stitch and then 2 into the next one. 1, 2. And we'll just do that all the way around. 1 in the next one, and then 2 in our next stitch. 1, 2. Then when we get to our end, we should be ending with 2 double crochets in that last spot. After our last 2 double crochets, we'll just slip stitch into that first double crochet and chain 2 to start our next round. After we chain 2, we're going to keep increasing, so we'll just add another double crochet in between our 2 double crochet spots. So we did 1, here's our second one, and in the next stitch we'll do 2. So we do 1 double crochet, another 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in this next spot. And when you do the 2 double crochets, it kind of makes a V shape that you can see. So if you lose count, you can just look for that V shape to do another 2 double crochets in. When we get to the end of the round, it'll be just like the previous one, where you should end with the 2 double crochets. Then we'll just slip stitch into that first double crochet spot to end our round, and then chain 2 to start our next one. For our next round, we'll do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then after those 3 single double crochets, we'll do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So 1 and 2. Then you're just going to continue doing that all the way around. And then you will end with 2 double crochets in that final stitch. Then we're just going to slip stitch into our first double crochet. And then I'm going to put up a measuring chart, and we'll give this a measure to see if it's the desired hat crown we're looking to do. Right now I'm doing a teen adult small size, and my hat's about a little over 6 inches, so I'll say we're good to stop decreasing now. And we'll just chain 2, and then just put a single double crochet into every chain. So just 1 double crochet in every stitch. Now that we stopped added increases, you can start seeing the hat parts take form. It's not like flat anymore, it's starting to curve down, and you'll just continue going the whole row. At the end of the row, you'll slip stitch, as we did for all the end of the rows. And then just chain 2 and continue doing 1 double crochet for 7 more rows. Alright, so now we have completed all 7 rows of just 1 double crochet in each stitch. And we'll give it a measure. Mine's about 4 or 5 inches long. Brim, so we'll just chain 2, and I like to flip it inside out just because I like the way it looks better. And if you lost track from earlier when we stopped increasing, you can follow the V's until they stop and then count the spaces until the next V. We're gonna have 4 double crochets before adding an increase. But rather than just going right into the stitch altogether, we're only going to go through the first loop of the stitch. So we'll do 1, go in the front loop, 2, front loop, 3, front loop, 4, and then 2 double crochets into the front loop of the next stitch. And we'll just do that all the way around. When we get to the end, just like all the increased rows, we'll end with 2 double crochets in the last stitch, and we'll slip stitch into the first double crochet. Then we're just going to chain 2 to start our next row and add another increase. We're going in just like normal. We'll do 5 double crochets into the next 5 stitches. And then we'll do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. We'll just do that all the way around. And then end with the 2 double crochets in that final stitch, and then slip stitch into the first double crochet to end the round. We'll do 1 more round with another increase, so chain 2, and then we'll do 6 double crochets into the next 6 stitches. And then 2 into the next stitch. And we're going to end with the 2 double crochets and slip stitch into the first double crochet, and we'll just chain 1, pull it out, and cut it with our scissors. And that's the hat part of our mushroom hat. Now we're gonna do the white part underneath, like the gills part of the mushroom, I guess you would call it. And we're just gonna go into that part, the other side of the stitch that we didn't go in on the brim. So we'll make a slip knot with our white yarn. I'm using a glow-in-the-dark yarn I found at Michael's. And then we'll just slip stitch into it. You should just be able to put your needle right through and it should just catch right in, no problem. We'll slip stitch in and chain 2. Then we'll start the same way as we started the brim and do 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches, and then do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And we'll just do that all the way around. We will end with 2 double crochets in that last stitch. Then we'll just slip stitch to end our round and chain 2. Then we're going to do 5 double crochets into the next 5 stitches, and instead of doing a normal increase, we'll do 3 double crochets. So we did our 1, we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 double crochets in that increase spot, just to make like start our ruffle. Now at the end, we're going to end with our 3 double crochets. Then we'll just slip stitch to end the round. And chain 2. For this round, we're going to add 2 increases on either side of the 3 double crochet. So we'll double crochet 5 into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll do 2 double crochets in that stitch, that first double crochet of the 3 in the previous round. Then we'll do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. And then 2 double crochets into the stitch after that. Then we'll just repeat that and do another 5 and 2, 3 and 2 all the way around, and we'll see a bigger ruffle starting to form. At the end of the round, we're just going to finish with our 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in that last stitch. Then we'll just slip stitch to end our row, chain, pull our chain, and clip our yarn. And there we have our mushroom hat. Next we'll work on the circles or dots to go on the hat. So we'll start with the little ones first, and we'll just do a magic circle. And then we're just going to chain 2. And do 12 double crochets into the magic circle. After we finish our 12 double crochets, we'll just pull it tight and slip stitch into that first double crochet, and then chain, pull, and cut our yarn. And that's the first of our little circles. Then we'll make the bigger circles by starting with the magic circle again. Then chaining 2. And then doing 12 double crochets into the circle, just like we did for our small one. At the end of the row, we're just going to pull our circle tight, slip stitch into that first double crochet spot, Then we're gonna chain 2 and do 2 double crochets into each stitch all the way around. At the end of the round, you're just gonna slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain, pull, and cut. And then there we have our big circle. So we're gonna wanna make probably about 8 of the little ones and 5 of the big ones. So after you got 5 of the big ones and 8 of the little ones, or however many you wanna make, you can then start stitching them on to your hat in any kind of design. Now, if you know how to stitch with a tapestry needle, I would recommend doing that, but I don't. So what I do is I just pull some string off, cut it off from the yarn, and I just pull it through, and I kind of just slip stitch it on to the hat. So I'll pull both ends of the yarn through that I cut off, and I'll tie them, and then just pull it through each stitch, and then tie it again at the end when I make it to the end. So now that the yarn's tied on the inside of the hat, I'll just pull the long end through to the front. Pull it all the way through, and then I just pull it back again through the back, and I do that all the way around. Now that we've made it all the way around, we'll just want to pull the long side through to the inside of the hat. And then after it's completely stitched on, I'll just tie it to the beginning. I ended up having to use my needle because I cut it too short and it was a hard time grabbing it. Then we can just cut off the remaining yarn we didn't use. And there's our first dot, and we'll just do that for all of them in all different spots. After we got all our dots on, there's our hat. Here it is in the dark, showing the glow in the dark yarn I used. It worked out pretty well, I'd say. But thanks for watching, and I hope to make more videos soon, so stay tuned and follow me on Instagram and on Facebook for updates on new videos coming. And again, thanks so much for watching.